Entering the Ring is the podcast you don't want to miss. Lucha House Show Podcast.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of our favorite and your favorite wrestling podcast, Lucha House Show Podcast. I'm Mars, the voice of violence, as always, joined here at ringside by my colleagues, the Dreadlock Demon, Rowdy Rod, and the man who had his own forbidden door kicked wide open today when his boy Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs appeared on Monday Night Raw, the armless assassin Renzo Sin Brazos. Plenty to talk about again this week. Darby Allin gets hit by a bus, the bus taps out, and it's Tony Khan wearing a neck brace. WWE Draft, the new bloodline, Carlito, how do you like them apples? Plus, while Mummy's away, is Dirty Dom going to play? Watch me. That and a whole bunch more. So, Rowdy Rod, go ahead and ring that bell and let's get this no holds barred, falls count anywhere, loser leaves town match started.
Oh, man, I like that. That was good. Oh, man, what an intro. I don't know if I continue now. Should we call it a day? Call it, turn it off. That's it. Shortest episode ever. Oh, man. What a lot to talk about, man. We got a pretty good, the drafts are finished now. We got all the picks from both sides, from SmackDown and Raw. I just got the ones from Raw here, but what are your thoughts on we go straight into it pretty much. What are your thoughts on the WWE draft this year? The setup, how is it up, and everything?
I don't know. Look, the setup is pretty good. You know, they do some good things in splitting it over some time. I think we were talking about with the NXT how they don't necessarily tell them what's going to happen, and it's almost a surprise. I don't necessarily think that the draft is going to be good for some of these wrestlers, and we'll discuss it. There's going to be some that it's going to be a detriment, I think. And there's still some incognitos, right? There's still some that we haven't found out. Like, we don't know where the hell Roman Reigns is going. What's he doing? Is he a free agent?
He pulled out of the draft.
He pulled out of the draft.
He pulled out.
Yeah, so he officially took his name out of the draft because his official words were like, if I'm not the champion, why would I be drafted anyway? So that's his word so far, but we know because he's working in Hollywood, he got some movies and some stuff. They've been seeing him in Disney lately. So he has some stuff on the side, and he's also cooking what is the next part of the Bloodline storyline. So he's been working on that pretty hard, which already been seeing parts of it as Solo Sikoa is moving the new era of the Bloodline along. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Why he's not on the draft.
And look, Uncle Howdy, a big incognito with Uncle Howdy. What the hell is happening with Uncle Howdy as well? So, yeah, there's a few wrestlers. I don't think Jimmy Uso. So he's supposedly injured.
He's out. That's why he's not on the draft.
Yeah, he's not part of the draft.
Not even part of the bloodline in the draft.
Yeah, right.
He's fully injured.
So, yeah, there's a few that, it's just some incognitos. But like I said, I think there's going to be some that it's going to be a detriment to them when it comes to moving to a different roster. I don't think anything's going to be done. Will we see more releases? Potentially. I don't think the releases have finished. That's what I'm kind of afraid of as well, that they've done this before. They've done a draft and they've released wrestlers not long after. And one of the most famous ones is Swerve Strickland. Remember that, Rod, a few years ago when they did a draft? They drafted and a couple of weeks later, Swerve was out. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I like the draft. Obviously, it's heavily modeled on the NFL draft, which just happened to be on the same day. I think they're walking a fine line. I think it can go a bit too far in terms of like show, because like there was even like they've got the war rooms now, like all the NFL teams, which is fine. I don't mind that. But then when they're making the phone calls, I'm not really a big fan of that. Like when they call the players. But what I do love about it is when they bring the old school stars back, which was great. It was great to see the Dudley boys there back together. It was great to see Teddy Long, Holla. No, it's good. I like it. Look, the reality of the situation is that the draft lasts probably for about half a year and then it just gets forgotten and, people go wherever. But you did mention two very important things. Obviously, Roman Reigns pulling out of the draft by way of Paul Heyman, and also Jimmy Uso. When the Bloodline was drafted, it was made clear that the Bloodline was Solo Sikoa, Tamatonga and Paul Heyman, and no mention at all of Jimmy Uso. Not even that he's injured or anything like that. But no, I'm a fan of the draft. I think it's good. Good part of the show. So no, I mean, obviously it'll hang around for more years because it's successful. What did you think, Rod?
Look, I said it I said it before WrestleMania. The draft is like the peak of SmackDown and Raw stayed up to WrestleMania. We know that getting close to WrestleMania things get a bit messy and stuff like that. But overall, they did stay on its own, like shows, and they made it clear. But that also goes along with the fact that we got two great GMs. We got Nick Aldis and Scrappy Daddy. So both of them are doing a great job as general managers and part of the authority in there. So that plays a big role. When you don't have that big of a GM's going working in SmackDown and Raw, things get messy. But because they're such a big authorities and make sure everything that happens, we saw when Solo Sikoa, when Solo Sikoa, what's called in Tamatonga turned like lit up the fire. The two cars, they crashed the two cars and then smash KO. Nick Aldis grabbed Paul Heyman's like, hey, this is not going to happen on my show. This is not happening. You saw this out. There's going to be real consequences. It's not the first time. It's been a few times. We're also Scrappy Dad and him. They've been going face to face. Like, hey, where are you guys on my show? What are you doing here? This is not right. And then been sorting stuff out or going teams against teams just because let's get this sorted and just not. So I think that plays a big role, and I like that way. But the big one was NXT. I think I love the fact that NXT they don't tell them. And they got a live video of them there watching, and then just when they announce them who's getting picked, it's just everyone's got like crazy and loved about it. So that was good. I like that part.
I think one of the things. Go on, Mas.
No, you're right, mate. You go.
I was going to say one of the things that I didn't like about the draft, and I don't know if you guys agree, Raw is faction heavy, like super faction heavy. So if you look at, for example, Latino World Order is on Raw, Judgment Day is on Raw, the Final Testament's on Raw, Damage Control's on Raw, and SmackDown has pretty much the Pride and Legado del Fantasma.
And the Bloodline.
And the Bloodline. So I think, I don't know. The Raw is really stable heavy. I don't know what you guys think about that and, how storylines are going to pan out from there.
I like it. I actually like it because it kind of hopes the fact that we're building this faction. They're going to have a big platform on the one show. So we're going to have a lot of storylines happening in a different parts of the what's called on Raw. We're talking about Raw.
Yeah.
And Raw has been the weakest one so far. Like SmackDown has been so strong because the Bloodline has been there the whole time. So we kind of taking a little bit away from SmackDown now and giving it to Raw and leaving SmackDown more like a solo run for a lot of people. So where you got the big feuds and going there, because on SmackDown we got, for example, in SmackDown we got Bianca Belair, we got Carmella Hayes, we got Randy Orton, we got Nia Jax, we got LA Knight. Who else we got? We got
Jade Cargill.
Got Jade Cargill, AJ Styles, Andrade. So we got a lot of big names. So we know that a lot of these already got issues between them. So they're gonna continue those storylines, which is great. I think it's a really smart move, to move from like make it one really heavy with the stables than just having too much spread out, because we need that few between stables.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I agree with everything you just said. And also, don't forget, Raw's got to have 3 hours worth of television, or like 40 minutes. So when you take out ads, so if you've got factions in there, that leaves a fair bit of time to show vignettes and like storylines and interviews and things like that, and backstage stuff. So no, I'm happy with it. The only thing I didn't like about the draft, or was draft related, to me, and you guys know, I'm not a big NXT guy. I don't have the time to devote to another wrestling show. So when things come up about NXT, I'm happily surprised because it's new to me. I didn't like the fact that Carmelo Hayes was given a shot against Cody Rhodes straight away. I know it was a non-title match, but that made no sense to me whatsoever. And you know what? Not only did it make no sense, But I just saw how small Carmelo Hayes is.
Yeah.
Like when he was standing next to Cody Rhodes, I'm like, hang on a minute. This was the NXT guy. This is the guy that was huge in NXT. And he's a great wrestler, don't get me wrong, but you don't put him up against Cody Rhodes' first match, and you don't put him in the ring with Cody Rhodes, who's like a tall guy. Like, I think that was an error. I mean, he did a great fight, and to me, I think that was a classic case of weakening a strength to strengthen a weakness, because I think Cody lost a few points on that in that match, because Cody should have annihilated him. Could have said, "You're in the big leagues now, man. Like, you're going to have to step up your game." But no, there was a couple of false finishes, near falls. So I think Cody lost some stock there. Not much, but I think he lost some stock.
But on that point that you put, but it also helped Carmelo Hayes. I think it was a bit of give and take, and also because he was straight away out of the beginning of the draft, to get everyone excited. We're talking about he was the former champion. We got the new champion going against each other in the first round of the draft. So it's get it over and done with straight away. Give the welcome to a new guy, which is the number one there was in NXT, and give the, a welcome from the champion, which is, I don't mind, you get a welcome from the champion, from the ex-champion. It's a strange. It's a no-title match, which is really important.
Yeah, but he should have smashed him. He should have annihilated him.
Yeah, but we're talking about,
I agree.
But at the same time, what for? Because we saw last time when they did this to a few, and we always hated it. The fact they put a former champion for NXT, bring it up to the main roster, and get a smash in the first match. It's like,
well, then don't do it. Don't do the match.
I don't know. I didn't mind, to be honest. I liked it because it was a non-title match. So it's still, Cody Rhodes still got the win. It still gets a win. And it shows that, okay, we're talking about NXT is getting stronger. We're not bringing weak guys. We're bringing strong guys. This guy could be the guy later on, and you earn the respects from Cody Rhodes and the fans, like you wanna have that. You don't want to get smashed, because you remember a lot of people from NXT goes to the main go to watch Raw and SmackDown. So a lot of big NXT people that goes there, and you don't want your main guy to get smashed straight away. You don't mind if he loses, but at least in a good way, like he did.
Yeah,
with
but that's what
Rhodes.
I mean. Like, don't do the match. Give him a match against someone else.
Well, I don't know. It's just the former champion. They just lost the title against the new champion. They just won the title. It's like kind of it makes a good sense. You're gonna face to face, because he says that exactly what you said. Let him know, hey, he's not NXT anymore. We're going back.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
Ruthless Aggression. John Cena, Kurt Angle.
Fair enough.
I got those vibes about it.
It could be.
What do you think it does to Hayes, Mars?
Oh, no, I think I didn't do him any damage at all.
At all. That's what I'm getting at. I don't think he did any damage to him.
But I'm saying, to me, in my eyes, and I'm a huge Cody guy, but in terms of his character, like, it's not going to affect him. But in my eyes, he lost a bit of stock, because he was taken to a couple of near falls and false finishes by a guy that was just come from NXT and who's quite small.
Yeah, but it also comes from the fact that probably looking down into NXT guy and then realizing, holy shit, he's not as bad as I thought. But
they already do that with Bron Breakker.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Bron Breakker. But Bron Breakker was coming before.
Should I say Bron Goldberg? But no, I won't say that.
Don't kill him, please. Yeah. Don't kill him. Talking about Bron Breakker, well, Bron Breakker is going to be on, what are we looking at here? Bron Breakker is going to be on, what is he, Bron?
He's on Raw.
He's on Raw.
Which doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Nick Aldis just announced him as a major signing a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, and now he's lost him in the draft.
Yeah, but he knew. They both knew there was going to be some changes.
But why make it such a huge announcement? Like, we got his signature, and then 2 weeks later he's gone.
Because the draft is a draft. That's why. But anyway, yeah, he kind of the things make some sense. But your favorite guy, Renzo, is back into the main roster. What do you think about that?
Who?
Who's your favorite guy? He's the long
Oh man, I hate that. Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
What's wrong with Baron Corbin? He's a nice guy.
We're talking about like before that. Like it's just a way long back, and that's why Lorenzo hates him.
Way back. Way back. I think. Look, yeah. I hope. Look. Okay, here's something. Here's some therapy. Look, Baron Corbin did some really good things. He used to do some really good things, but then they got him to do some stupid character, man, before he went to NXT. And I think we said it. He got demoted. I'm pretty sure he got demoted because he just wasn't following through.
But that's not his fault.
I hope. No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's definitely the writers. They wrote him into some shit, like absolute shit. And it did nothing for his character, right? Absolutely nothing. It made me hate the guy. Absolutely hate the guy. But hopefully now he comes up, man, takes his chance, it's another chance for him. So yeah, hopefully he shows what he can do because, you know, technically he's a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler. But just the characters that they've made him do are just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, hopefully it all goes well for him.
And here's another question. What do you guys think about the fact that actually SmackDown is heavy on the women division? We got big ass names on the women's division in SmackDown. We got Bianca Belair.
Number one pick.
Number one pick is really important. Nia Jax is also there. We got Jay Cargill, we said it before, from NXT, who moved up was, who was put up from NXT in there? I just got it here, Jay Cargill. I just had it. Tiffany Stratton is going to be in SmackDown as well. We got Chelsea Green and Piper. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. They're going there. Blair Davenport for NXT. She could move there. Tegan Knox is also going to be there. So we got a lot of big women's name, and we don't know what's going to happen with Mummy. She at the moment is not drafted anywhere. So we got a few champions. Well, the champions were not allowed to be touched, so the champions stayed at the way. They split the Judgment Day because Judgment Day got drafted to when did Judgment Day win? Raw. And
that's what Damian Priest is the
Priest at the moment. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. It's just Mummy at the moment that we don't know which is going. So that Mummy and Jey Uso, Jimmy and Roman Reigns are the ones who haven't been drafted yet because CM Punk got drafted as well. So all of them got drafted except those three. So that's going to be fun to see where they're coming from and when they're going to go in the next few.
Look, I'm happy that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are back up as well.
And Michin.
And Michin. For those of you guys that know, these guys are, you know, some of the OG Bullet Club. And so they're going to be with AJ Styles. So hopefully there's some sort of amalgamation of that or some form of Bullet Club kind of reunion, which they've kind of hinted at in many years past, but hopefully it goes well for them.
Yeah. Yeah, we got pretty good. Like the draft, to be honest, is pretty good. In terms of the Judgment Day, we can see the breaks already. I think I called it. Once, I said it a while ago. Once Damian Priest will get that title, that's gonna be a start at the end of the Judgment Day, and it has started happening. They're starting to see the breaks on the Judgment Day, and we also got a big ass hint that Liv Morgan is the one that's gonna replace Mummy on the Judgment Day. She's gonna be taking over.
I don't know if she's going to replace Mummy. I think I think this is all part of her revenge tour because she says she's going to take everything from Rhea Ripley.
Exactly. She wants to take over the Judgment Day. She will play. We already saw the face-to-face with Dom and nothing happened. So something could go that way.
There's video of Dom walking out of her dressing room today in Raw.
Yeah.
But Dom is Dom, man. You know that stupid shit and everyone tells him off. So we don't know. But yeah, I think that they're hinting really big that she's going to do that. She's going to be, and I said, I think it's all right. I think we've been said it for a while. Rhea Ripley's done a lot with the Judgment Day. I think it's not bad that she started getting her own like solo run, which is great because we don't know how she's going to come back in what, because this is kind of like a rest for Rhea Ripley, but also it's like let's repackage Rhea Ripley in a way that she's going to start a solo run. So I think that's what they're thinking about as well, because she's not getting mentioned on the draft, and that's massive.
I don't think I don't think they'll repackage it because I think the package that she
not repackaged in that way. I mean, in the fact of.
But what I definitely think is that, before Rhea Ripley comes back, Liv Morgan's going to be the women's champion. I think she's going to have that title, and not only that, Dirty Dom's going to be in her corner.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree. Like, I think just this of Becky Lynch is the same with. I think it did come back the same of being Seth Rollins is the right person to carry the title for the moment, and she's carrying it the same way that Seth Rollins was carrying it, which is pretty interesting. After like, well, you haven't watched Raw, but even before that, the way she's been talking about it after winning the title, she's gonna carry it the same way the Seth Rollins, but it's gonna be a short run. There's a lot of talks saying the Becky might take a long leave away from wrestling. She's just quite happy on looking after the daughter with what's called Seth Rollins and what she's doing with her book and stuff like that. There's a lot of talk saying that she might not wrestle for a long time, and she'll take a long absence from wrestling, which is not bad. I think she's doing a lot outside wrestling that gets her more excited to be in the ring at the moment, but she's carrying the title at the moment because she was the right person to do it at the moment, which is great. But you never know. You know, probably carrying the title for a little bit might spark the fact that she's going to stay in the ring. Who knows?
That's right.
So we'll see what happens. But so far, man, we got good things happening everywhere.
Can I talk about the bloodline quickly?
Oh yeah, well fuck, I was gonna go to that one before I forget everything.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Like, in terms of like, you can see, like, obviously Solo's well and truly taking charge, and like, whereas where Roman would always say acknowledge me, Roman saw acknowledgement. He didn't seek respect. He sought acknowledgement. He didn't need the respect of anybody. He just wanted people to acknowledge that he was the tribal chief. He was in charge. If you look at what Solo Sikoa's doing, like, he gets booed when he grabs the mic. When they rolled up with Tama Tonga in the limo on SmackDown, he waited, and Paul Heyman goes, I'll open the door for you. Like, he's kind of demanding respect, and he's not getting it. Yeah. He doesn't want acknowledgement. He wants respect. He wants people to say, hey, you're the guy, you're the new guy, because, and in his mind, he is the new guy because Roman said you're up next, and now Roman's gone, so he's up next. So he's kind of demanding respect and not getting it. And I think that's where that's going. And he's not going to get the respect. He's going to fail as a tribal chief. He's not going to be a tribal chief. I'm interested to see, like, when they bring Jacob Fatu in and what capacity he's going to come in. I'm still interested to see what's happening with Jimmy. I know he's injured, but like the last we saw of him, he's well and truly out of the bloodline. Paul Heyman's only in there because he's, shit scared of Solo and Tama.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where that's going. I don't know what you guys think about that.
All right, so.
Oh man, I don't know. That bloodline with Jimmy Uso out, like, I don't know what the hell's gonna happen, and what's gonna happen with what's his name? You just mentioned him. Jacob Fatu. What the hell? We've been hearing about Jacob Fatu for months, man. We've been talking about it for ages. So at what capacity are they going to bring him in? What's going to happen? It's going to be interesting how they'll move on with this story. It'll continue for sure, 100%, right?
To tell you the truth, I'm finding it hard to be interested in it now.
Oh.
Yeah.
They've got to do something. I mean, I've got faith in the product. I've got faith in the writing team. I've got faith in WWE, of course. But they need to do something, because I think, and I don't know plenty of others, but I at least am losing a little bit of interest in it.
Well, it's like any big story, Like, I think I did do the comparison with the MCU universe, and you said, like, I'm out of it. I don't understand, but it's the same thing. We go and face 2 or 3 of the MCU universe right now, and then people are starting to get a love again. It's like any big story, we got a massive ending, huge ending to a huge story that was building up for a while with Cody Rhodes. So now it's like a fresh start of the new chapter of this story. So we gotta let it build. You know, we gotta let it see what it did. You just mentioned, what is this going? What is Fat is gonna come into? What's actually happening with Roman Reigns? What is he gonna say about this? What the story of what's it called Solo Sikoa happening? You know, so it's slowly building. And we still remember The Rock is still into this. Roman Reigns still into this. We don't know what's happening with Jimmy. We don't know what's happening. Jay hasn't said anything yet, but we don't know. He's still bloodline. He's still part of the, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Still part of them. And he's been asked many times what's happening with Jimmy. He's like, I said to him, come with me. So they're still keeping that alive between him and Jimmy. So more than likely they're gonna be together again. So I think we just gotta give it time. Just gotta give it time, let it build, you know. And also you gotta remember, we gotta give space to other storylines that have been building and starting to get big again. For example, we're talking about AJ Styles in LA Knight. That story is starting to get huge slowly. The building and building and building. Same with Final Testament and Pride. Same thing. So it's starting to get LWO against the Legado Fantasma. That's another story starting to get huge. What's happening with the Judgment Day? Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, they're going to be champions soon. What is that going to go?
Now that you mentioned LWO, credit where credit's due. You called it. It was Carlito that jumped Dragon Lee. You called it. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, that's. I think it was pretty obvious in the moment they happened. I'm like, there's no one else. Carlitos did it. That's for sure. It's a lot of hints of what happened when he picked Rey Mysterio, picked Dragon Lee. That's another story. We don't know what's happening with Carlitos now. He's out. We don't even know he's been drafted. He's drafted to he got drafted? He didn't get drafted.
Well, he's not in LWO.
I don't think he got drafted. No, he didn't get drafted.
He didn't even get drafted. So is he gonna get booted? It's going to be live WWE.
Well, technically, he's still part of LWO, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's in that limbo state.
Well,
obviously, he's got to stay.
They put LWO.
Got to continue. Yeah, he's got to go where they go.
Yeah, so technically, he's still into the LWO, so they don't know what's happening with him. So technically, he's still there. They say he's in Raw.
I mean, he'll probably have a match with Dragon Lee at Backlash, I'm guessing.
Probably you can have a match there. We just saw a hint that the feud between Rey Mysterio and Dom is starting to spark up again. You know, that's something that's building up in there. So it's just, there's a lot of happening, but we need to keep the bloodline in the background. That's it. Let the bloodline story be in the background. Let it build slow. It's not gonna get the momentum it had with Roman Reigns because again, it took a long time for Roman Reigns to get the momentum. No one liked it at the beginning because the heel move that he came back in was really weird. The matches was shit. The story was really, it wasn't the greatest at the beginning. It was hard to people to love him. And remember, people hated him until he lost the title. He loses the title. Cody Rhodes comes in Raw as a champion and people chanting, thank you, Roman. You know, because people realize, fuck. You know, thank you, Roman. Look what you done. So it took, we're talking about 7 years for people to love Roman and understand the bloodline storyline, you know?
Easy.
So that's the build that they're going to do with the next one. And now Roman Reigns is writing this one as well. So it just give it time. The bloodline, like Paul Heyman said at one point, and it's the story going to keep giving. Again, The Rock is still into this. Roman Reigns still into this. Jimmy and Jay, we don't know what's happening. We're getting fat in between. So literally now we're expanding away from bloodline to related bloodline. So now we're starting to get to the next, to the full Pacific Islander kind of faction stuff. So it's weird where it's going, but I think you just got to give it time. It's going to build up slowly.
With that. Yeah.
And it will get there. Just leave. I think it's time to give a space to other storylines. Cody Rhodes is going quiet too. Cody Rhodes is not massive at the moment. He's just a champion. You know? Cody Rhodes just giving time. Something else is building on the side. He doesn't have feud with anyone at the moment.
Yeah, it's quite clear that AJ is not going to win a Backlash. Like, that's not going to happen. But
I kind of hated that part. I just shouldn't go that way. I think you should have been someone else. Because it was LA Knight and AJ Styles again. For it, they should have gone with someone else. Like, I don't know, AJ Styles fucking up LA Knight, so he lost a chance to go for a title, or the other way around. So when none of
well, see, LA Knight might do a run-in and fuck up AJ's title shot.
I hope that happens. I hope that happens because that'll be a good way to. Oh, he didn't win the title because someone else got involved. You know, and that's awesome. Again, because AJ Styles is if he loses in a clean match against Cody Rhodes, it's kind of fuck up the whole build-up he's been doing lately. What's the point of it? you know, because people know he's gonna lose. People know he's gonna lose. But how about we make him lose because of something else?
Yeah.
A lot of people shocked, like, oh shit, because they gotta keep building that LA Knight AJ Styles match, because that's just getting even crazier, even bloodier, and just getting so good. So good. But it's gotta give it time. I think we're getting good that way. How about we take a break and we come back? We talk about AEW, and also got a massive questions for you guys to get ready for moments they have changed the face of the industry.
Look about a question without notice. Wow.
Yeah. Because something that's happened in the last few weeks that I think it's time to understand where this is going, because big changes are coming, and for some companies as well. All right. So he's going to take a break. We come back and we talk about AEW and the question is just